Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel, AmusedJester. My name is Junior. And today we're going to be reviewing McFarlane's Multiverse Batman Earth-2 and Multiverse Sentinel. Um, yeah. Anyway, let's see. Let's look at the packaging really quick. You know me, I don't really review McFarlane figures anymore ever since I quit. But hey, since he's ending anyway and there won't be a lot of figures to review, I'm going to go ahead and review some of the ones that's kind of interesting. And I will tell you why I bought them and everything. This is the Earth-2. This is the new Earth-2 that they did. This is when, I believe this is either Dick Grayson as Batman or the original Batman before he got killed. I think it's Dick Grayson. But in this one, in Earth-2's Batman, the new one, Alan Scott as Green Lantern is when they turned him gay, and then Red Tornado was Lois Lane, and on this one, Superman is Val Zod. I do have a Val Zod. Unfortunately, is the wrong version of Val Zod, which is armored. I don't like that look for Val Zod. I believe they're coming out with a new one, which I prefer. But let me go ahead. This is kind of cool. This is what makes me think this is the Dick Grayson Batman. So let me go ahead and open this up, and I'll talk to you guys some more as to why I decided to buy these two. Although these two, I'm again at the very last minute, even though I bought them, I held on to the receipt and wondering if I'm going to return it or not. But let me go ahead and take it out of packaging and we'll talk about it some more. Alright, so I got them out of packaging. We have the usual cards, which kind of doesn't really have any value for me. Which is kind of a shame. Did they change the size of these cards? It seems like this is smaller. I know they changed the card stock. It seems like this is smaller. And for them, and if that's true that they changed this, that's kind of a bummer. That's the only thing that might have made it interesting for me is just basically collecting these as cards and putting it in some sort of binder or something. But if they change the size of this one, then it will just like be too off-putting for me. It came with a basic stand, so that's usually good or always good. Kind of still wish that it still has two pegs instead of the one. The circle doesn't really work for me because it's good this way, but it's a problem for me back and forth because my display won't allow me to put them side by side. It takes way too much space, but it's a good option. So let's talk about these two figures over here. Let me turn on my light. So this Batman really quickly over here. I did not buy this when it first came on pre-order. First off, it's in the height of the McFarlane period where I'm not collecting, not interested in collecting it whatsoever. And if I was buying any McFarlane figures, it would not be a Batman variant. Once again, I'm tired of that. Okay, I am familiar with the figure. I'm kind of interested in the design and everything. So what made me buy this in the first place? Well, it's always going to be something to do with the price. I got this off of Amazon for $18.50 compared to the usual price of what, $24. That's good. That's basically made it like $19 the way it was with McFarlane figures. It comes with two additional sets over here, as you can see, a closed fist and the one with batarangs. So I'll probably change this hands with this one. I kind of like these. In fact, while we're talking about that, let's just go ahead and change it. Should always have been an option to change to have closed-fisted hands, always, because we're kind of used to that anyway. I'm not sure if I like that. This hand, maybe I'll put this hand in just for now. The one with the batarangs are too distracting for me. So $18 for a McFarlane figure, and it's got two hands. That's pretty good. And honestly, in the stand or in your collection, this Batman will stand out because of the face mask over here and the gold in this figure. So there's no regrets for this one. I'll put it value of 12. No, I'll put it value of 15. At $18, it's a good buy. You know, if it was 14, you know what? I'll give it a value of 12. I'm very satisfactory with it. I wouldn't say it's a must-have because 18 is still pretty pricey, you know, and it's still a variant. And I'm, you know, if it was a new figure at 18, then it would have been a value of 15. Right now, it's a value of 12. Pretty happy with it. Pretty good price. Starheart over here. Should we talk about the... Anyway, here's the face close up. It does have a paint stubble that they're put on. Really nice design on the cowl. There's the thing over here. The design of the figure. Kind of nice. Again, I don't know why McFarlane even went with this type of fabric. If DC Mattel can come out with this kind of fabric, which is a much better fabric, it has, you know, this feels so plasticky, this fabric over here, and it's not even wired. But I will say, I'm actually surprised. I didn't know it came with fabric, so that's a plus for me. So it's an $18 figure. I don't know if we need to talk about the articulation. We all know the articulation of McFarlane. I don't have any complaints about it. It's really good. Articulation has never been a problem with me for McFarlane. It's always been top notch. The problem is sometimes the scaling and the fact that see how the ratcheting they have is just a big jump. So like this, I'm going to have a problem standing this up because it's going to be leaning backwards or it's going to be leaning forwards. See? That's the problem with McFarlane ratchets. Like, why are you ratcheting these things? Anyway, so let's go with the Sentinel over here. Sentinel over here, this is the one where I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to keep this. Because it's just a rehash of the Alan Scott Green Lantern, which I already have. It's just a repaint, right? And this doesn't make sense to me. This sleeve that seems to be, I don't know. Yeah, I think in the Alan Scott one, it's like that too. So first off, I am not really a big fan of the Sentinel character. I didn't like the fact that they redid Alan Scott as Sentinel instead of retaining his Green Lantern name. I am not confused by the Green Lantern name, even though he's not part of the core. So I don't know. Does DC think that their newer generation of fans are so stupid that they can't figure out why Alan Scott is called Green Lantern, but he's not part of the core? That's the whole lore of Alan Scott as Green Lanterns, because he is his Green Lantern power is sorcery based, not science based, and it's based off of the Starheart, which is what it is. So he should have remained as Green Lantern. They could have redone this. I mean, I don't mind the restructuring of this, modernizing his costume and everything, but he should have remained a Green Lantern, not Sentinel, which is, I feel, is kind of stupid. I do like this head sculpt though. I think that's a paint mishap over here. I don't know if this is just a repaint of the Alan Scott Green Lantern figure. I have it. It's just in my collection right now. That's kind of blocked off. But I really do like that head sculpt. I feel like it's a new head sculpt because I feel like the other one has a more wilder hair. I like the paint application on the hair. I like that they chose this kind of paint, like a pearlescent, is that what it's called? Type of green. I got this and I was thinking, hey, you know, it's a cloth cape. It looks pretty good. At least, you know, it's got that. Then I looked at it some more. It's like, oh shit, I don't think that's a cloth cape. I think that's just a regular rubber, you know. But at least it does look good. It does look good painted. This is the only reason why I think why they could have gone with this kind of fabric, because of this sheen that this fabric naturally has. Maybe that's why, because it's so plastic, you know. But at the very least, one of the things I can say about this cape is, yeah, it's nicely sculpted, but more importantly, it doesn't take a lot of extra space when you're posing it, when you're having it in your collection and everything. So there is that. This one, I believe you can put it in his arm, so you have the blast effect and everything, and you have a Green Lantern figure, or Green Lantern, attached with it, which is always important. Green Lantern figure must always have his lantern with him, and I believe this is just another reissue of his old lantern. Now, Starheart. So, like I said, I was kind of iffy about this figure already because I did pay full price on this one. He's $25 off of Walmart, and I only bought him because he nice, really, look at that nice range of movement. I don't know, he just happened to be there and I picked him up. That's the only reason. I didn't want to pre-order this one. This is one of those figures where I would wait and see if it goes back on some sort of discount or deal, and I feel like it probably will. Not a lot of people know about Starheart. He's our Sentinel. He's not a main character anymore, so I'm assuming he's not that popular. Only purists, DC purists, would basically even consider him as a must-have, because purists would really prefer him as Green Lantern, the original one that we got. That would have been just fine, but it's okay. But yeah, really nice movement and everything for articulation. Like I said, I don't have any problems with McFarlane's articulation and everything, but I just had a problem with the fact that the overscaling and different scaling and everything. This is perfectly scaled, I think. So this is a good figure. Anyway, one of the other factors that made me decide to get him, even though I paid full price for him. Technically, even though he's full price, he is still $25. And if McFarlane had raised his prices on these figures like this and has these an extra accessories and everything like that for $25, this is kind of like the ceiling for me for McFarlane figures. $25 is still a good enough figure. If it had been a unique character at $25, I would have been much easier with him. But I already have an Alan Scott, and I'm not really that fond of this version of his character wherein they turn him to Sentinel. So it's not really a big draw for me. I would have been just happy with Alan Scott as the Green Lantern, and I would have been done with that. And I would have left him on the pegs. But the reason why I got him is because I got this. Together at $18 and at $25, it puts this at about $43 for these two figures. Actually, no, this is $19 and this is $25 because it was $18.99 and this is $24.95. So technically, these two figures would be around $44 or $45. $44, right? Which basically means average-wise, each figure is at $22. And for that, I'm okay with getting these figures at $22. I feel like it's still okay. So I would value both of them at $12. I'm pretty happy with it. Because they are very striking. They will be very striking once you put them on the collection and everything. So, and even though this is a repaint, technically it is a new character, Sentinel. And I still don't know if this head is a reuse or not, but it is a very, very striking head. I would rather get a Sentinel than an Earth-2 Green Lantern. Let me put it that way. I don't like the design of the Earth-2 Green Lantern. I feel it's kind of stupid. And I didn't like the fact that they made him gay for no reason whatsoever. By making him gay, they basically killed off Jade and Obsidian. Anyway, so my value for this is around 12, maybe 11. Yeah, I'll put it at 12 because really nice proportions, really nice striking figure. And for $22, you really can't miss on that one. I would still say it's a good enough value for a McFarlane figure for that. I wish he could have had a cloth cape. I wish this cloth cape would have been this type of fabric, and I would have been happy with that. But wishes, that's what can you do? He's almost done anyway, right? And since he's almost done, I'll get unique characters that kind of intrigue me and everything. And this kind of intrigues me because technically this is not Bruce Wayne. This is Dick Grayson becoming Batman in Earth-2. Anyway, that's it for my review or the McFarlane figures, Batman from Earth-2 and Sentinel, which I got. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys in my next review. Bye.